fat tissue is more than insulation, okay? So we need to look past this scale. We need to look past BMI. We need to look past all these other shortcuts, which are likely what your doctor looks at when you go to the doctor's office for your annual checkups. Insulin tells things to grow. If you carb load after a workout, you're trying to signal to your muscles to grow. If you are carb loading all the time, you're constantly signaling your body to grow, so you don't want to do that. Fat cells can cause irritation. It's like the miracle grow for cancer cells, and fat cells secrete that as well. The first diet was the American Cancer Society diet. The American Cancer Society is this big organization, and this is a diet they recommend. It's low fat, it's high fiber. I refer to it as the cardboard diet. I wouldn't recommend it for my worst of enemies, but that's a whole different story. And then the other diet they told them to do was a ketogenic diet. It's about a quarter protein, 25%, 5% carbs, so very low, and 70% fat. So a very high fat, very low carb, ketogenic diet, and it's in fact as you see here, the exact opposite of what we've been recommending. A ketogenic diet results in selective loss of fat mass and retention of lean mass. If you have a normal BMI and you have more muscle and less fat, you're going to be in better metabolic shape than someone with a normal BMI and less muscle and more fat. When they compared the two different diets, the ketogenic diet and the low-fat diet, they found that adipose tissue was less in those women on the ketogenic diet. So again, it's not just that they lost more weight, they targeted more adipose tissue, they lost more fat. In terms of belly fat, same thing. It was about 1.5 pounds less in those women on the ketogenic diet. Visceral fat, the center fat, in terms of the percent change, the percent change was huge. It was 22%. It's not a big expensive drug. Doesn't have a ton of side effects. It actually makes you feel a lot better. This is a study that happened last year. This was all over the news. It was a low carb-ish diet versus a low fat diet. The low carb diet was about 45% fat, 30% carbs, and 25% protein. The key with this study, again, this is a randomized study, so this is something I could say to patients, hey, this is high-level evidence for how you can make yourself healthier. There was no calorie counting. Okay, and this is very revolutionary because we've been telling people to count calories, eat less, exercise more, drive yourself crazy because nobody can count calories properly, myself included, and instead do the opposite. Not only should you not count calories, eat nutrient-dense foods. Nutrient-dense foods are often higher in calories. Number 2, limit processed foods, sugar, bread, and pasta. And what's intriguing about this study is even the low-fat arm, who are eating more carbs, they told them the same thing. So I don't care what diet you're on, that number 2 goes really for anyone. Number 3, cook and eat with your family. No snacking. They said you should never eat on the run. So make food more of a get-together, more of a social event. And then number 4, eat whole foods, eat grass-fed meat. That's why I love this study. They're actually telling people to eat meat, which they rarely do in any of these studies. And all participants lost an average of 12 to 13 pounds at 1 year. So these are things that I now tell my patients, and when I get criticized from other physicians, I say, well, we have a randomized study. So, go read that, and then we'll talk.